According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a simple definition of disappointment is the state or feeling of being disappointed. It goes on to say that it could also refer to someone who disappoints people. What happens when the disappointment comes from people you thought you could depend on to have your back? What happens to the sense of security provided by family when one or more of those people in the family tend to disappoint you? After our family experienced a medical emergency, the actions of some of our family members were questionable. Some people have your backs and, well, others, well, you know what I'm saying.
Thanks everyone for stopping by, and thanks for the decorations. Can I have a nap now?
Sure, buddy. Oh my goodness. Did you all see what John did in Maya's room? He took this chicken wire and he put all these army men and princesses and decorated it all for the Princess Protection Program so that she would feel comfortable sleeping in her room again. It is just the sweetest thing. And then Emily is reading books to Maya about princesses and how the prince comes to save her. And it worked. It was a stroke of genius, John. Maya is finally sleeping in her room again, and it is a blessing to all of us, trust me.
Carolyn, I am so glad that Maya's feeling better. That is such a relief. Elizabeth, you might want to tell Kathy that Maya's all better so that she will cease and desist her search for a therapist.
A therapist for Maya? Did I miss something? I feel like Maya's gotten over the worst of it. Now that we're all home, she seems like she's really coming around. Nothing personal, Amy, but I just don't think Maya needs therapy. I think we're past this.
Carolyn, let me know if you need anything else. You know I can be over there in just a few minutes if you need anything else. Do you got Micah need another raindrop? I could be over and help you out. I know how good they feel.
Hey, Amy, you are so sweet. You barely walked in the front door of your house from being at our house, and you're already thinking of more things to do to bless us. You are so sweet. Yes, let's do the raindrop thing tomorrow. I'll be there in the afternoon. That sounds great. And one more thing, Amy. I am just so impressed with Elizabeth and all that she's done for my sweet family these last few days. She's really turned over a new leaf, and I just want to do something special for her to say thank you. I was thinking maybe we could get her some new earrings. What do you think? I'll see you later. Bye.
Yes, Carolyn, you and I are truly blessed with the husbands and the families that we have. I know this whole thing was just awful for Micah and awful for you too, Carolyn, but in a way it was just so nice to see us all come together and work together to support each other, and everybody came together and helped at my house, helped at your house, and it was just kind of nice to see. So we are blessed. So let's bless Elizabeth with a new pair of earrings. I think that's a great idea. So I'm happy to help you pick them out. You know I love to shop.
Caroline, just so you know, Bradley did speak to Doug. Doug does not see why he should have to pay for the repairs on the window. He thinks that since it's your house, you should have to pay. Doug did not know anything about Micah or the surgery, or so he claims. I forgot to ask if Solstice knew about Micah. I don't understand how Doug could not have known.
You know, speaking of family, I guess I do need to deal with Doug here pretty soon. I just don't have the energy after this last weekend. But I do. I've got a ton of anger and mad stored up in my little heart. But I'm just going to have to wait. I just don't have the energy for it right now.
Yes, I'm still working on the same load of laundry, but that's okay. So everybody, thanks to Elizabeth and all her hard work, the barbecue is still a go for this Saturday. We're not sure if Micah's going to feel up to it, but just kind of seemed like kicking a guy when he was down to just cancel it. Plus, the rest of the team was depending on Carolyn to open up her house and her backyard. So hopefully everybody will feel up to going, and if not, Elizabeth did a great job of making it good for the rest of the team. So Elizabeth still needs a head count from the family. Remember, Solstice and Doug probably shouldn't be there. But the rest of us, we need to let Elizabeth know a head count so she can get things finalized with a caterer. Yay! It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see everybody there.
I am having lots of fun with this barbecue. I know everyone will have a wonderful time. I have a big surprise lined up. I hope everyone will be there.
Brad, I think Elizabeth might be right on this one. Can you please talk to Doug and explain that I think it's best if they don't come this Saturday? And also, let's try to keep Kathy out of it too.
Tony, you know I got your back, but you're asking me to take my life into my own hands. I asked Doug about the invoice. He claims he doesn't know anything about it. He said things are crazy at his house with Solstice and the dogs, and he also claims he doesn't know anything about Micah. So you should probably call him before he shows up at your doorstep.
Doug better not show up at my doorstep. You know, now that Micah can't play baseball for quite a while, I can take his baseball bat and leave it at the front door. You know I should forgive Doug and Solstice, and I will eventually, but my baby's in so much pain and hurting, I'm finding it very difficult.
Namaste everyone. I just wanted to update you guys on how the dogs are healing. Harmony has all of his stitches still, but they look like they're healing nicely. And the good news is that Peace gets his stitches out tomorrow, so he'll be thankful for that. I just don't understand that no one has called yet. If you want to come over and visit, I think they're up for it now. So I called the teacher from Doggy Obedience School to let him know what happened, and he didn't seem like he was going to actually come and visit them. And I'm really worried about this. I think this is going to hurt Peace and Harmony's recovery if no one comes visit. It doesn't seem like anybody has posted anything since the barbecue, so I'm not sure if you guys are getting these videos, so I might try calling everybody to let them know. But Caroline, Doug mentioned that Micah had some sort of accident with his arm, and I just want to let you know that kids are resilient, and I hope he's okay, and he should bounce back pretty fine from that. Also, Caroline, I'm not sure if we're going to make it to the barbecue on Saturday. Peace and Harmony are having so much trouble still, and it just seems like the wrong time and mean to get a babysitter at this point.
I got the impression from Solstice's last post that Doug is really clueless about everything that's happened. Is it true? Is he really that clueless about what happened? And who's going to deal with Solstice? I mean, I don't want to do it. Who is left to do it? Bradley, I think it should be you. You're Doug's brother. I think you should be the one to call Doug and convince him that he's going to have to deal with his own wife. Nobody else is going to do it this time. So Bradley, could you please talk to Doug and convince him that he's the one who has to deal with Solstice and get the rest of us out of this loop? I mean, everybody's been chipping in since this whole thing happened, and everybody's been pulling together, but I mean, how long are the rest of us going to have to suffer the consequences of the fact that Doug's not participating in his own life? Sooner or later, he's going to have to come to the party. Oops. I guess I didn't mean it quite that way now, did I? You all know what I mean. Sorry, I'm tired.
I will call both Doug and Solstice to get them updated on the plans for the barbecue. I need a final head count anyways, so I'll call and find out if they plan on attending.
And as long as we're talking about things that you need to deal with, Bradley, Kathy, can you please figure out something to do with Kathy? I don't know how she got in the middle of all of this family stuff, and I don't know, what Elizabeth is wanting her to do. But Bradley, can you please kind of talk to Elizabeth or talk to Kathy and get Kathy out of our family business and just leave her at Elizabeth's office? Thanks.
Believe it or not, Amy, I agree with you on this one. I'll get Doug to see that he needs to deal with Solstice on this one. I don't know how, but I'll figure out a way. As for Kathy, I can see that she's done a great job for Elizabeth at work. But for our family, that's another story. I'll see what I can do.
Yes, I'm still here at the office, and yes, I'm still trying to get caught up from all the events of this week at my office. But I did not miss that Bradley agreed with me yet again, so now I'm going to really have to buy a lottery ticket and just put all this stuff away. Good night, everyone.
Okay, Amy, so I selected the perfect lottery numbers for you, and I'll bring your tickets to the barbecue. I can't believe you make me do this because it's not like you're going to win anyway.
What do you mean we have to pay for the windows at Carolyn's? I don't understand what really is going on. Brad said that it was Solstice's dogs that broke the window and hurt Micah. I didn't know that. I guess I was in the front yard and didn't see what happened. I didn't see how Micah got hurt. I thought it was a baseball thing. Boys being boys. We all did it when we were younger. Caroline, is Micah still at the hospital? I had no idea he was really injured. I thought he was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Solus is pretty wound up about this, And the dogs were covered in blood. Here I am, I'm still scrubbing. It's so tough to get this blood out. I just want my wife to calm down. She's really upset about this. She can get that way. And who cares about me? I'm still here scrubbing the blood out of the car. And by the way, they're miniature horses. They're not really dogs. Those things are huge. It's taken forever for me to clean the car. And the vet bills, those are something else. Why in the world are vet bills so expensive anyway? They're even more expensive than human bills. If I had known the vet bills were going to be this expensive, I would have put the stitches in myself. And she's barely speaking to me right now, She's pretty wound up about this. Now she wants me to stay home from work and forego income to help her with the dogs. That's not practical right now, but who cares about me? Heck, I've been cleaning this blood for hours.
Brad, maybe I'm just overly tired, but is Doug saying that he's not going to pay for the window and the hospital bills? What did he say when you talked to him? I admit, I'm exhausted, but his response, it just about sent me over the edge. Doug didn't even really ask if Micah was okay. It just surprised me that he didn't know what happened. Caroline is still in the dark about most of this, and she vaguely knows some of it, but she's going to deal with Doug and Solstice later. Caroline assumes that Doug is going to do the right thing, but I haven't had the heart to tell her that her brother is a jerk. And so she's just got too much else to do right now. Besides, if I tell her everything now, then we're just going to be angry together, and that's not a good thing. Seriously, who's going to make sure that Doug and Solstice don't show up to the barbecue on Saturday?
Not one of you has called to show any concern over our dogs. Not one of you has even asked if we needed help, or even asked if we needed help paying the vet bills. The firemen wouldn't even help us put the dogs in the car. And they're supposed to be public servants? And the doggy obedience guy thinks that I'm a freak because I want him to come visit the dogs. I mean, they spent every day with him like 2 weeks ago. I don't think that's much to ask. Caroline, I'm not sure if we can come to the party tomorrow. I have to talk to Doug about this. Doug and I, it's important for Doug and I to have a strong relationship with the family. And right now, I don't see you guys showing any concern over our situation. The dogs are traumatized. I'm trying to find peace in all of this, but I don't know if I have the energy to see family just yet.
Sorry about that, everyone. I haven't had a chance to talk to Solstice about all that's been going on. You know, there's a lot going on right now. She's so wrapped up with these dogs, it's unbelievable. All we hear about are these dogs. No one cares about me. She doesn't even have time to cook me dinner. We don't even have time to see each other. We don't even have time to talk to each other. Everything is always dogs. Well, what about Doug? What about me? You know how much I'm working overtime these days for these vet bills? That's all I'm doing. Work. Just like I've been scrubbing for hours to remove this blood off of the car.
Brad, I see that Doug posted an apology of sorts, but he still didn't say anything about whether or not he's going to pay. I went ahead and paid the window invoice myself because it seemed like the right thing to do. I didn't want to put the window guy in the middle of our family squabble. Besides, he was really nice to the kids when he was here. But I still think Doug should reimburse me for the bill. It's not even the dollar, it's the principle of the thing. His dogs did the damage and he should have to pay.
Doug, I am not going to talk to your wife for you. I'm not. Apparently you have not been following this week what the rest of us have been going through. Apparently you have not been paying attention to the trauma and drama that's been happening to your nephew. So no, I've got other things I need to be focusing my time on this week, and your wife is not one of them. You need to man up and deal with your wife yourself. I love you, Doug, but I'm not going to do it.
So, you expect us to pay for the window? For what reason? Tony, you should be paying for all of our vet bills. I mean, the dogs got hurt at your house, so you should be paying our expenses. I mean, does Doug know about this, that you want him to pay for the window? Did I really hear Amy say that she's not going to get in the middle of this? That's a first.
Yes, Amy, you don't need to be in the middle of anything. I've got everything under control, and Solstice doesn't need to be involved either.
Someone is going to need to bail me out of jail. Solstice thinks that we are going to pay her vet bills? Has she forgotten that I told her not to bring the dogs to the barbecue? Has she forgotten that she agreed that, no, I will not bring the dogs to the barbecue? What am I missing here? Seriously, who's gonna bail me out of jail? Who? I was mad enough thinking that Doug's not gonna pay for the window repair, but now they think that we are to blame for this situation. I don't understand.
So, Caroline, I need to ask you for a favor. I know that Micah was hurt and everything, but that's already been a week, and you know how boys rebound so quickly. He's probably not even thinking about it anymore. But I was hoping that I could actually bring the dogs back to your house, and they could see the place of the accident. I think it would really help with their emotional recovery, and I talked to a prominent healer about this, and he thinks it's a really good course of action, and I think it'll really help them to not have their nightmares anymore and sleep better. So what time would work good for you?
Doug, you'd better talk to Solstice and get her to understand what part her dogs played in this whole thing. At this point, the money is the least of our problems. Healing the rift in the family is much more important. But then, paying for the damage and accepting responsibility would go a long way to healing that rift. It's time to man up, Doug.
Solstice thinks I'm outside meditating. Don't tell her I'm working on the car. Tony, I don't understand why Solstice brought the dogs anyway. She told me she wasn't going to. We had the conversation. It didn't look like she was bringing the dogs. And then she opened the car door and the dogs jumped in, like it was all planned already. That wasn't the plan. The dogs were not supposed to come. But then again, those dogs could do no wrong to her. She loves those things. And me, well, I can't even do stuff around the house. I have to be meditating. I have to light candles. As for paying for that window, we can talk about that later. After I'm done paying for all the vet bills, and after I'm done working on my car.
I mailed the bill for the window repair company to Caroline just today. Even though they didn't find a broken window, they still charged for the service call. Tony, how did you pay for the window being fixed if I just mailed it today? Do I need to track down where your check went? If you guys would just check with me first before making these kind of decisions, it would make a lot less work for everyone involved.
Doug, why did you let those dogs in the car in the first place? You could have stopped this thing then and there. I remember once Solstice said you should stand up for yourself and your family. Perhaps you should start practicing on your wife first. As for the company Kathy sent to your house, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I'll talk to Kathy again and try to get her to restrain herself to Elizabeth's work only.
Bradley, is everything okay? I haven't talked to Elizabeth since I got back from Carolyn's last Wednesday, but I haven't seen you get this angry for a very long time. Did something else happen? Do I need to call Elizabeth or call you? I hope everything's okay. Bye.
Amy, I'm sorry I got angry. But it just seems to me that Doug should pay Tony to take care of this window. They may be financially tighter than we all realize, but if that's the case, why doesn't Solstice just get a job? When I get angry when I end up having to pay for all of this myself.
Hey Bradley, I'm getting the sense that you're really stressed about the money issue, and it's hard in these videos to kind of get a real sense of how people are feeling and what's really going on, but I wanted to touch base with you about it. I get it that your wallet's really been getting a workout this week from all of these family issues, but I didn't understand that anybody was demanding it of you. I mean, you volunteered to help Tony pay for the repairs in the window, and Elizabeth wanted to pay for the barbecue, and you wanted to pay for my chef to bring all that food to my house, and all of this stuff. I mean, I get it that it's adding up, but I thought that you were doing it voluntarily. So I'll write Elizabeth a check and pay for everything that she provided to our family this week, and take care of that tonight. So, oh man, has it only been a week? My goodness, it just feels like this week has been forever. Okay, Bradley, let's try to keep it in perspective, and we'll make it right by you. Don't worry about that, okay? Have a good evening.
Amy, you were right. Things got out of perspective because of something Elizabeth did this week. Wait till you come over and see it. Please don't reimburse me for the groceries or the personal chef. It did Elizabeth so much good, and I haven't seen her this happy in years.
Bradley, now you really have my curiosity up. You got to call me and tell me what you're talking about. What's going on?
Thanks to Elizabeth, the party is still on for tonight. Right now, I'm just waiting for the other worker bee moms to get here and finished getting everything ready for the big baseball barbecue. I don't have to do a thing because it's all organized. Thank you, Elizabeth. Micah, we're still not sure if he's gonna make it tonight. He just still gets tired so easily, and I'm not quite sure if he's tired or if he's just feeling depressed. He's just so young, and to know he can't play baseball for a whole year, it feels like an eternity to him. He's going to be on the bench for a full year, and he thinks that it's going to ruin his whole career, but it won't. Poor thing. And also, John, again, I want to say thank you for decorating up Maya's window. She is sleeping so well at night, and I just wish I was sleeping as well as she is. I'm still in bed with Micah trying to get him through the night pain-free. So thank you, everybody. The party's going to be a great success. See you later.
Caroline, what happened to Maya that she can't even sleep in her own bedroom? It sounds to me like your whole family is having trouble sleeping this week. Maybe that's what the problem is, with you expecting Doug to pay for the window? Sleep deprivation? I know I'm staying up all night to care for my dogs. But it does look like they're healing very nicely, so Doug and I do plan to be at the barbecue tonight. We probably won't stay long, but, you know, it is for family, so we do want to come support our nephew.
I just saw Solstice's video. Somebody did call Doug, right? Please tell me somebody called Doug.
So I explained to Doug that he should talk to Solstice. Since no one else has talked to her all week long, maybe somebody else needs to take care of it.
And Kathy, too. It's probably best if Kathy doesn't show up either. Maybe we should send her over to Solstice's house.
Okay, I'll call Solstice. She and I once bonded over being the in-laws. Maybe I can explain it to her. I told Kathy she didn't have to be there tonight, so I'm not expecting her.
I was on my way home, but it looks like I should come to the party and help. I think I should be there in case you need me, Elizabeth.
Okay, that did not go over well. I called Solstice and told her all the details about what happened to Micah, what happened to Maya, and how it would be best if she didn't come to the party tonight, but she did not take it well at all. The only thing I can hope is that she will wait until tomorrow and wait until she calms down before she contacts Caroline. I'm not convinced she will, but let's hope. I'll ask Bradley to talk to Doug and make sure Doug stops her from coming tonight in case she decides to show up anyway. I'm on my way over to Caroline's now, so I won't be able to deal with Solstice anymore today. I just had a brilliant idea. I'm going to tell Kathy that we really need her to keep Solstice from going to the party. I'll send Kathy over to Solstice's house.
I did call Doug, and I did tell him to control his wife and have her not show up tonight. Who knows what would happen if her and Kathy show up together. Who knows what would happen if I screw these lines up? Nobody will come back.